Ain't nothing to a boss to get you lost in the south. Thug in the streets, there's a rule, don't toss. When there's money to be made, we get straight to the moolah. Don't care about beef, not a rapper, I'm a shooter. Gotta get it out the mud when you come from the dirt. Get the they the plugs, we the ones with the work. See my nigga in the pen, got caught in the system. Count my blessings every day, should've been right with them. Your folk, dripping sauce, got me feeling like Gucci. I'ma die behind mine, on me, gotta shoot me. So my blockers, we own 16 my years. So ain't about money, can't see, can't hear. Be careful how you talk, you get lost in the sauce. Ain't nothing to a boss, you get lost in the sauce. In the streets, ain't no law, you get lost in the sauce. Watch how I walk and get lost in the sauce. Be careful how you talk, you get lost in the sauce. Ain't nothing to a boss to get you lost in the sauce. In the streets, ain't no law, you get lost in the sauce. Watch how I walk and get lost in the sauce. Lost in the sauce. Lost in the sauce. Lost in the sauce. Ain't nothing to a boss to get you lost in the sauce. Ain't nothing to a hustler to run up them bands. I'm a daddy, I'm a gangster, but first I'm a man. See good, try to rob, then go as you plan. Ain't the pistol when the jam, I would've left him where he stand. See you cool, try to play you like you weak, but that's one thing for sure. The boogie out the street, got style, got swag, got juice, got sauce. Ball head with the beer, got me swagging like Rose. So low by myself, smoke the whole house. Now I'm high, then a tick on the ball. Eagles ain't worried about talk, don't shoot, don't touch me. Care less about the you ain't gotta fuck me. Ain't nothing to a boss to leave a hoe in the sauce. Be careful how you talk, you get lost in the sauce. Watch how I walk and get lost in the sauce. In the streets ain't the law, you get lost in the sauce. Be careful how you talk, you get lost in the sauce. Ain't nothing to a boss to get you lost in the sauce. In the streets ain't no law, you get lost in the sauce. Watch how I walk and get lost in the sauce. Lost in the sauce. Lost in the sauce. Lost in the sauce. Ain't nothing to a boss to get you lost in the sauce. Be careful how you talk, you get lost in the sauce. Ain't nothing to a boss to get you lost in the sauce. In the streets ain't no law. You get lost in the sauce. Watch how I walk and get lost in the sauce. Lost in the sauce. Lost in the sauce. Lost in the sauce. Ain't nothing to a boss to get you lost in the sauce. 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 Ain't nothing to a boss to get you lost in the sauce. In the sauce. In the sauce.
All right. Hello, YouTube. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you want to check out that music, go to Spotify and hit a Busy the Bookie. That is BEZYDA Bookie. Hit him up. Got some nice music. All right. So if you read the title, you see I am here talking about the situation of Brian William Jr. He is actually the man that recorded Arbery. He recorded that whole situation when he was getting attacked by the father and son, who is actually incarcerated now. He's awaiting them two are awaiting trial. So they ended up getting him. It was basically I would think that they kind of gave him like a accomplice charge, but this situation, I don't think I ever seen a situation where the person recording the incident got incarcerated. So let's get into it. I'm going to try to do this share screen. Pray for me. I hope this goes okay. So I'm gonna go in here and try to pull up this share screen situation. And let's see if we can get off into some things over here with that share screen here. And it's some stuff that I had pulled up from the news clipping. Hold on, I'm actually gonna go here because I don't want to scroll off. So I'm gonna actually play you guys the audio. How about that? I think that'd be a little better because sometimes the share screen kind of trip on me just a little bit. So I'm gonna pull up the audio part of it and I'm gonna play that. Okay, so I'm pretty sure you guys are familiar about the Arbery situation. There was video put out of him going into a house. Later on, there was a father and son that tried to perform citizen arrest on him, and there was a tussle had, and they ended up taking his life. So the man that actually filmed the whole thing is now taken into custody. So I have the story here. You guys take a listen to this. Okay.
You'll likely remember Ahmaud is the young black man seen in this video jogging through a mostly white neighborhood in Georgia when he was stopped and fatally shot. The killing was caught on tape and it sparked national outrage. After nearly 3 months and 4 different prosecutors on the case, the 2 men seen in the video, Travis and Gregory McMichael, father and son, were arrested and charged with Ahmaud's murder. What has remained unclear is why this man, William Roddy Bryan, took out his cell phone and filmed the last moments of Ahmaud's life and why he was at the scene in the first place. Late today, Bryan was arrested and charged with felony murder and criminal attempt to commit false imprisonment. Bryan has said he had no involvement in the shooting itself and insists he has fully cooperated with investigators. Last week, as Bryan sat next to his attorney, he had this to say on Good Morning America.
It was very unsettling. I've never experienced anything like that before. I really felt sorry, and all kinds of emotions, but sorry was definitely one of them for the family of whoever the young man was that I did not know. I don't really know what else to say other than it was unsettling. I've never experienced that, and I don't care to experience it again. I really don't. If the video wasn't there, I don't think there would be an outcome that anybody would be satisfied with, because I don't think anybody would know the outcome. But I'm not proud that I shot the video. But maybe it helps in the end.
And we now bring in Lee Merritt, a civil rights lawyer who represents Arbery's parents, for his reaction to this new arrest. So thanks so much for joining us, Lee.
Thank you for having me.
First, this is something that you and Ahmaud's family have been pushing for. What's their reaction to word of his arrest?
The family is extremely relieved. Wanda, I spoke to her, and she wasn't sure that this was going to happen, but we all knew that it should happen. And so to have him arrested, we know that's just one step. We think that he was a part of the conspiracy to murder her son, and that we're looking forward to a vigorous prosecution.
And Bryan says that he was not involved in the killing, and that in fact by filming it, that may have even helped in the end. Why don't you believe him?
Well, Bryan is saying that Mr. Bryan was saying that he was not involved today. On the day of the shooting, he told law enforcement officers, according to the police report, that he used his car to block Ahmaud's path. That's when everybody was treating Ahmaud like he was a criminal as opposed to a victim, and so it was popular to say that at the time. Today, now that we've all realized that Ahmaud was a victim, he's changed his story, but those facts bore him out. How he got there, what was his reason for following Ahmaud around in the first place, and what role he really played, I think is going to come into light, and it's the reason for the arrest today.
Do you think that it's significant that in the video he's already rolling, it appears, before he arrives at the scene? It's not as if somebody witnessed something and then said, oh, let me start recording this.
That's exactly right. He was clearly trailing behind Ahmaud even before you see the McMichaels come into the frame. He is behind Ahmaud recording, as if he knew something was about to happen. I think that he knew that that Ahmaud was about to encounter the McMichaels, because that's what they set up to happen.
And Lee, just curious, I think that the latest report suggests that it was a former attorney who released this video. Was there any, are you aware of any of how that video even got into the hands of this man who apparently at one time represented the McMichaels?
And that's really important. Roddy, of course, took the video at first, and that's his role in this case so far. But he never turned it over to the family. He never turned it over to anyone in terms of the public. It was a lawyer for the McMichaels who eventually released it and caused this public outcry that we're seeing now.
Are you concerned about getting a fair trial?
We are, and we've been pushing for safeguards to ensure a fair trial. A lot of them have happened. Joyette Holmes being the Cobb County District Attorney who was brought in, of course, the 4th District Attorney, but someone we believe that was conflict-free and who could vigorously prosecute the case. Next up, of course, is the question of jurisdiction, and we have a new judge in the case, and we believe in his ability to be fair as well.
Lee Merritt, thank you so much for your time and your insight. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George.
All right. All right. Thank you so much, ABC. That's coming from out of ABC News. What do you guys think about that guy actually being arrested just for filming the incident? I'll tell you what I think about it right quick. Okay. I think when it comes to a situation like this, with it being filmed, okay, let's think of it like this. If the gentleman, Brian Williams, let's say he was not on the scene, let's say no one was there. Let's put it in the scenario, it was just the father and son, and it was Arbery. If it was just them on the scene and no one there to record it, they could have trumped up a story, and they could have said anything. They could have said that Arbery was attacking them. There would have been no context at all about the ending result in Arbery's life being taken. I believe there would have been no context at all to actually kind of get an arrest, because anything could have been said. Anything could have been made up between that father and son, because you have two people that are living that know exactly what happened, and then you have the one person that's passed on that cannot speak for himself. So I really, that video that Brian Williams recorded was very helpful when it came to getting a arrest, because you guys have to think, flashback and think. This whole situation occurred all the way back in February. Things did not hit the fan about this case until that video was released and somehow circulated and went viral on the internet in May. That's 2 months later. So you have to think, if that video was not, if we didn't have that as a source and a piece of evidence, maybe, the father and son would be free right now. But I'm interested in seeing how all of this plays out with the person filming the incident of a person getting their life took, supposedly in a citizen arrest, somebody getting their life took, and the guy that recorded it in jail. Think about things. When it comes to me, I like to think about things in hindsight. Look at things in hindsight. the next time when something's going on, the next time when there's a crime going on, people are going to think twice about pulling their phone out and recording because they're going to think, oh, the guy that filmed Arbery is in prison. This man is in prison for just filming a fight. So if it come, I'm looking at this man got locked up for filming. I'm like, you won't see me pulling my phone out like that trying to record no incidents because I may end up in jail and I don't want to take that risk. So I don't know. This is something I never seen happen before. Someone actually getting arrested for recording all of the fights that we see on World Star. Have you ever heard about anyone recording those fights, getting locked up? Comment in the comment section. Let me know because I've never seen a situation where anybody has gotten arrested. But I think the lawyer is looking at it in the sense, and the family looking at it in the sense of you set it up where the father and son could ambush him and do what they did. I guess they're looking at it from that standpoint, but at the same time, with the evidence that Mr. Williams provided, is actually what got that's what got a warrant to get them incarcerated. So I really don't know what to say about that situation, but I can say, maybe, just maybe, the man that's incarcerated now probably a whole lot did actually help the case. But what do you guys think? You drop down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. At the end, I'm gonna drop my link, just in case somebody want to jump in on StreamYard. I know me and Miss Lecky were actually supposed to be going live together. I'm gonna see if I can send her this link. But I'm gonna mosey off into the next topic that I'm going to talk about, and it's actually just the update from the video that I've done before. If you guys haven't seen the video, I'm going to drop a link down in the description box, but it's about the Grubhub driver. Okay, let me copy this and I'm going to send this to her. But this is actually about the Grubhub driver who actually ran over an employee that works at a chicken restaurant. I believe her family owns a chicken restaurant, and they ended up having to put the Grubhub guy out due to some issues of him disobeying the social distance rules. So he ended up like kind of cursing at them. He was saying some really crazy things to them. And I think they actually say that he kicked the door and he ran out to his car. Okay, so when he ended up running out to his car, they followed him, and they was telling him, don't you go anywhere. The police are on the way. And I did notice that the lady that owned the restaurant, she was out there like standing next to the driver door, and she was yelling at him, and she was telling him, don't you pull off because the police is on the way. So I'm sitting here thinking like, okay, you're telling this man that the police on the way and you telling him don't go anywhere. Everybody just not finna sit around and wait on no police, okay? Okay, but the plot gets thicker. And let me tell you why. So come to find out, this so-called employee that works so-called for Grubhub, come to find out, this man is not even registered in the system. I think they say this man didn't even have a driver's license. But let me go to the story here about the update on this situation. Now, this situation was really crazy. And I really stand on everything that I said in that video because looking at the whole situation, that this man is not registered. There's a reason that man is not registered. There's no telling what that man's record may look like. Looking at the reason why he couldn't get a driver's license and he couldn't get registered to drive. So he's out here driving illegal for Grubhub. This really puts a bad name on Grubhub too. It really do. And I'm like, how could they allow something like this to happen as far as this man working there and he not registered? Hold on. Let me see if I can share this. It looks like it's locked. Okay. There you go. Okay. Okay. So that is actually, I believe that's the video. Yep, that's the video that I just shared that in the description box. So you guys make sure you take a look at that. It'll just give you a little bit of context as far as this story goes with the Grubhub driver. But let's get off into the update story. And it's only about 2 minutes long. And then I'm going to just give you my commentary on that. And I'm going to get on out of here. I'm not going to make this live too long here. Okay, so it is right here. Okay. So the Grubhub worker, let's see. The Grubhub worker was not registered. Okay, here it is. And I'm gonna go here. All right, so you guys listen to this.
He used a car as a weapon, but it turns out he didn't even have a license to drive, which then led us to ask Grubhub, how does someone without a license pass a background check to become a driver? Well, it turns out he didn't even work for Grubhub. 30-year-old Amir Muhammad is charged with 3 felonies for this hit and run caught on camera. On Friday, he was picking up food from Ms. T's Southern Fried Chicken through the Grubhub app, but now we're learning the driver didn't even have a valid Illinois license. In fact, the Secretary of State's office says he never has. We reached back out to Grubhub to ask, how does someone get approved to be a driver for a delivery app without a license? They say all of their drivers have to pass background checks, but it turns out Grubhub says he passed because he was using someone else's identity, which Grubhub calls, quote, a fraudulent misuse of our platform. And that Toyota Prius he was driving was rented through a service that loans cars to delivery drivers. The same car that just days ago knocked 24-year-old Bijan Early to the ground. In moments caught on cameras too graphic to share, but her mother described for us on Saturday.
She was on the hood of the car, and that's when he stopped. She failed.
Mom Anjanita Tanner owns the restaurant where they got into an argument with the suspect over social distancing inside when he refused to wait for food outside. That led to this moment. You can see Bijan Early waiting for police. He threatens to run her over, and then moments later,
he ran over. You don't do another human being like that.
The 24-year-old had just graduated college in December and wanted to teach children using sign language. She's now in the ICU with broken arms, legs, and pelvis. The next night, hours after our story aired, the driver, Muhammad, turned himself into police. Grubhub tells us they have terminated the contract of the driver whose identity Muhammad was using. Neither Grubhub nor police will tell us anything about him, so that could be a stranger. It could be someone he knew. As for Bijan, she remains here in the ICU. But one piece of good news, her mother tells us she woke up this morning and they were able to talk for the first time in several days. Live from Illinois Masonic, Marissa Parra, CBS 2 News.
All right, so that's the update from that story, which is so crazy. And this is what I was saying in the last video. I know it probably sounded like I was going on a rant, but when I ended up seeing them standing in front of that man's car, arguing the way that they were arguing with him, looking at the fact you don't know this man, you don't know this man's mental state, you don't know anything about this man and you're arguing with him. Do you guys realize how unsafe it is to argue with strangers? You know how crazy it can be arguing with your family and how out of control situations can be with your family, but for you to sit up and argue with a stranger, then the plot gets thicker and we find out that the man who was driving for the Grubhub is driving under fake circumstances, meaning you guys don't know why he could not get registered to drive a Grubhub. This man could be a convicted killer. He could have just got out of prison for doing God knows what. And you were sitting here arguing. You were sitting here arguing with this man. Do you realize how you not only put yourself, you not only put yourself in harm's way, but you put other people in harm's way as well. You put other people in harm's way just to what? Win an argument? It was basically I'm gonna be honest, it was stupid. It was stupid for her to sit up and argue with that man the way she was. I'm not saying that she deserved to get ran over. I'm not saying that she deserved to get ran over. I'm not saying that at all. But listen to what I'm saying. You guys never know the mind frame of anyone. And let's think twice before sitting up arguing with a person. When you win the argument, what you gonna do? Wow, will you win a trophy? I mean, what are you gonna win? What are you gonna win from, sitting up arguing with this man? It's ridiculous. I think it's just ridiculous. Um, but what do you guys think about it? Let's see. I believe Miss Lecky was one. Hold on, let me stop sharing this screen and I'm gonna see. You click that link, you can come in, Miss Lecky. Let me know what you think about this situation. And the first story I was talking about was about the man getting locked up because he filmed Arbery. He filmed that situation with Arbery. That was crazy. But as far as this Grubhub situation go, I hope she heals up well and I hope she gets better. But I also I also hope she learned a lesson from it as well. I hope she learned a lesson from it. I really, really do. It was I really do think, just going back, looking at that video and looking at what happened and all that kind of stuff, I think it was something that, you know, could have been prevented. It's something that could have been prevented. But anyway, what do you guys think? I'm gonna see if she'll jump in here. If not, I'm gonna go ahead and end this here. So how have you all been doing today? I hope you guys been holding up well. I hope you're staying good and healthy out there. Thank everybody for checking me out today. If you have not, please make sure you hit that like button and everything. But yes, it is crazy out here. It's crazy out here. But actually sitting up arguing with strangers, I think it's no good ending. It's no good ending when it comes to stuff like that. But yes, I really appreciate you guys for tuning in. I'm gonna hit you up in a minute, Miss Lackey. But yeah, man, you have to do a house show together. I think I sent you out the link a little too late, girl. I'm sorry. But yes, most definitely, you guys drop down in those comments. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know what you think about Mr. Brian Williams getting arrested for filming Arbery. And what do you think about the Grubhub driver who was a fake and a fraud? Just a whole hot mess out here in these streets, running over people and, posing as a Grubhub driver. Oh, let me see. Yes, I'm here. Okay. Okay. Can you get in? Did you click the link? Okay. Okay. Girl, we gonna do another one though. We gonna do another one, girl. I'm trying to save my hours on the stream yard. Girl, yeah, I didn't know they only let you get 20 free hours. I said I'm gonna have to start cutting my lives down to 30 minutes. I'm gonna swing this thing on out, honey. But yes, you guys make sure you tap that like button, hit that subscribe button, and most definitely stay tuned because I have much, much more to come. If you are interested in what's going on with my channel, I come with everyday breaking news. I just posted a news story yesterday about two parents who dropped their 6-year-old daughter off at an intersection and drove off. Luckily, God's will, a woman did pull up and she ended up taking the girl to the police department. And then, if you're looking to stay up on a lot of the drama in these YouTube streets, I'm dropping videos about that because I keep my ear to these YouTube streets, most definitely. And I come with a little bit of celebrity gossip every now and then. So if that kind of stuff interests you, please make sure you hit that subscribe button and stay tuned to Katie Talk One-on-One. And I'm signing on out. Love you, YouTube. Love you, YouTube. And I hope you guys enjoy your holiday weekend.
And I hope you guys enjoy your holiday weekend.
All right. Signing on out. Love you guys.